So, yesterday we went ahead and we started our informational paragraph. So when we started this informational paragraph, we started with what was called the lead sentence because we are leading our reader into what we want them to learn. Then, after we have our lead sentence, we move into our bridge. Our bridge sentence is going to connect the idea we have in our lead sentence to the idea we have in our thesis. And remember, thesis is just your fancy word for restating and answering the question. Then we get down here and we have our thesis. This is where, like I just said, we have restated and answered the question. So, let's read what we have written so far. The Renaissance was a time when new ideas were born and old ideas were reborn. This was clearly seen in art, architecture, and literature. The spirit of the Renaissance is represented in Leonardo da Vinci's ideas and accomplishments because he believed man was capable of anything he set his mind to. So now that we have introduced what we're going to talk about, because remember, your thesis is your main idea. Another word for that is controlling idea. Another word for that is central idea. Another word for that is key idea. It's so fun how many versions of that word we have. So you have to go into explaining, right? We've restated the question. We've answered it. We have to cite our text evidence, but also explain our evidence. So the one way we're going to do this is first we have to talk about how he captured the spirit of the Renaissance. So what did he create? What did he create that captured the spirit of the Renaissance? So an example of that would be his scientific inventions. So that is something you can put in this blank right here. This is where you say what creation Da Vinci made captured the spirit of the Renaissance. Then you have to go into explaining in your own words how those inventions captured the spirit of the Renaissance. Then, after you have done that, you have to give us a transition. This is clearly shown when the author says, or you can say, this is stated in paragraph blah, 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 or this is shown on page 3. You have quite a few different options, but if you want to just stick with this, you can. This is clearly shown when the author says, and then you have to provide a direct quote from the text. That means you are providing word for word evidence. But that evidence that you put right here has to support what you said right here. So if you were talking about his scientific inventions and how he wanted man to be able to fly, you cannot have evidence that says something about painting. It all needs to match. Then you get down to your closing statement or your concluding statement. This sentence is going to be similar to your thesis. Your job whenever you get to your concluding sentence is to restate your thesis in a new and nifty way. So you're not going to come up here and copy word for word. You're going to tweak it just a little bit to where it sounds a little bit different, but you're saying the same thing as, oh my goodness, hold please. Bella's telling us that there's something outside, and it is probably a squirrel. So please ignore her. So anyways, back to what I was saying. You are just going to restate your thesis in a new and nifty way. So you're taking what's written up here and tweaking it just a smidgen so that way it's written a little bit differently, but you're saying the same thing. If you have any questions, let me know.